Warden here in Waltham, Quebec. Today my wife and I are going to go on the PPJ Trail. That is the Pontiac Pacific Junction. We're going to go from Waltham to Fort Coulonge, which is about 18 kilometers, and then come back. It's a very scenic trail, and we're going to point out the condition of the trail and stop at some scenic lookouts and also point out some food places. So come along for the ride on this scenic route. A great place to eat is Lagar Waltham Station Restaurant right here on 148, right near the trail, which is just behind the restaurant. Proprietor Kirk McGuire will take good care of you, great food and great prices, so good place to start or stop your journey. We're right on Rue Principale in downtown Waltham. This is where the Waltham Railroad Station used to be, and this is where our trail starts. Our 18-kilometer trail to Fort Coulonge. We'll be following the trail from here. We're just leaving Waltham, and the trail is basically parallels 148 for a lot of the distance. We're just following the scenic Ottawa River. Wind's pretty calm today, which makes it cycling a little easier. Now you can go around this gate, but my wife looks a little rough. So my wife's gonna walk her bike through this gate, and you can see why. Very narrow. Again, they're trying to keep ATVs out, so I suggest you do the same. This trail isn't as wide as the Algonquin Trail, but there's still lots of room. And we're going through another long stretch of those canopy of trees. So much shade. Morning. We're about 11.7 kilometers to go to Fort Coulonge, and I just ran across a little cottage settlement with a beautiful view of the Ottawa River. Very scenic as our trail parallels the Ottawa River. We're about the halfway point between Waltham and Fort Coulonge, and along the cycle park here they have a wonderful stop area for bikes. We've got a repair station here with a tire pump and all kinds of tools to repair your bike. Also, there's a picnic area here. You can sit down. You can put your bike in the bike rack and then go wash through the bench. So great rest area and well planned by the cycle park. And you can stop here on your way to Fort Coulonge. We're going through a little trailer encampment here. You can see how they maintain the PPJ Trail. You'll notice each side of the trail has been trimmed, so there's no branches and grass sticking out. And of course the surface is quite smooth, just small little pebbly crushed stones. Very easy to bike on. PPJ Trail goes through the small hamlet of Davidson. We're just on the east end of Davidson, and we see the old Davidson mill here. That must have been quite an employer at one time, all closed down. We're about to cross the Coulonge River on the old railroad bridge. This is a railroad trestle, now part of the PPJ Trail, crossing the scenic Coulonge River. As we enter the town of Fort Coulonge, trail is now paved into the town, so this is nice for the cyclist. The trail continues through Fort Coulonge and heading to the east, but we're going to stop here and go to a little park for a break right up here. Nancy and I made it to Fort Coulonge after our 18-kilometer ride from Waltham. Very scenic, great trail. And just off the trail in downtown Fort Coulonge is this beautiful little rest area. And over here you can see it has a park bench, flowers, and down there is a picnic area where we actually sat and had our lunch. So, for those cyclists who would like to eat in Fort Coulonge, I found the Cafe Downtown, which looks like an excellent restaurant at 535 Rue Beaume, just down from the trail. And around the corner at 192 Rue Principale, I found Gary Mac's Burger Shack with a varied menu and outdoor seating. Be sure to come down Rue Principale in Fort Coulonge and have a look at the Spruceholme Inn. Very historic home, which is now an inn for guests and for meals and receptions. It's very historic. It used to be owned by the Bryson family years ago, which were lumber barons. We're about to cross the historic covered bridge just up from the trail, so make sure you come and see this. One of the few covered bridges around. Let's cross the bridge. Years ago it was heavily damaged, probably 20-30 years ago, but it's been restored. We're just leaving Fort Coulonge on the trail and heading back to Waltham. About 18 kilometers to go. We just made it back to Waltham. Just completed our round trip to Fort Coulonge and back to Waltham. About just under 40 kilometers. Took us an hour and a half to go each way. Great ride, smooth trail, and very scenic. And here we are back at our automobile, and we can drive her back to Pembroke. Nancy and I have just completed our 40-kilometer round trip on the PPJ Trail from here in Waltham to Fort Coulonge and back. The trail is in good shape, great shape. A little bit of light, loose stones, but very flat, very smooth. And we really enjoyed the scenic vistas on the way, paralleling the Ottawa River and going through forests. And arriving at Fort Coulonge, there's that nice picnic area I pointed out. And anyone that wants to go for a bite to eat, I pointed out places in both towns. So I hope you enjoyed the ride and come and enjoy the PPJ Trail.